Hello everyone, welcome to the STAR Project's video for this year's World Mental Health Day. My name is Megan and I'm just going to begin by telling you a little bit about the STAR Project and Yellow Door. So Yellow Door is a charity based in Southampton that provides services for people who have witnessed or experienced sexual or domestic abuse. We have a range of different services available for young people and adults. If you go to our website at www.yellowdoor.org.uk, you can have a look at the different services that we have, find out a little bit more about what we do, and there is some information on our website about how to make a referral should you need to. The STAR Project is Yellow Door's educational outreach programme. So we go into schools in Southampton and Hampshire and we deliver workshops on relationships and sex education. If you've had a STAR session before, you probably will have met me or another person from the STAR Project team, and you probably would have received one of these yellow pens. Unfortunately, we can't be with you guys today, so we have put together this video instead, and hopefully you will be able to kind of get involved with the activities that we have set out in the video, and yeah, we hope you enjoy it. The theme of this year's World Mental Health Day is kindness. In this video, we will be thinking about the importance of being kind online in particular, and the impact things like social media can have on us and others depending on how we treat each other when we are online. We'll also be thinking about how we can build our own resilience to negative or unkind comments we may receive or view about others when we are online. Hopefully, this will make sure that our experience of social media, online gaming, and generally using the internet is one that is positive and beneficial for our mental health. So I'll begin by talking through what online abuse is. So online abuse is any type of abuse that happens on the internet. It can happen across any device that's connected to the internet, so that includes things like phones, tablets, computers, gaming consoles where people are playing games online with others. Online abuse can take place anywhere online, including social media, text messages and messaging apps, emails, online gaming, and through live streaming sites as well. Young people are at risk of abuse online from strangers as well as people they know, and online abuse can also be known as cyberbullying and trolling. So now we have a better idea of what we will be talking about in the video and what online abuse is, where it might happen. I'd like us to have a think about why people may do it. So why might somebody leave negative comments on somebody's photo? Why might people speak to each other in an unkind or negative way over text or other types of kind of messaging apps when perhaps we wouldn't talk to each other in that way face to face? What makes it different about being online, and why might somebody feel the need to be so negative towards other people? What could be the reasons behind that? So I would recommend that you pause the video here for about 10 minutes. You can write a list, you could make a mind map, however you want to do it. Jot down all your ideas of why you think somebody may be rude, unkind, negative towards other people online. What might the reasons be? I'm going to also do my own mind map, and when we are all finished we can share some of the ideas. I'll share my ideas and you guys can share your ideas with each other. So yeah, I'll see you in 10. So now you've had the opportunity to have a think about why people may be unkind or abusive towards others online, and hopefully you've been able to share some of those ideas with each other. So I will kind of share some of the thoughts that I've had. So some people who bully may be having difficulties with their own mental health or within their own lives, and in order to make themselves feel better, they focus their attention on someone else. Research has shown that people who bully others are twice as likely to have been bullied themselves. Another reason may be the very high standards that we're all held to, especially on social media. We are almost encouraged to compare ourselves to others instead of embracing our own beauty and individuality. Those who are abusive to others online may well have low self-esteem, and by bringing others down, they're attempting to feel better about themselves. So as we can see from some of the reasons that we have talked about in the video, people tend to bully other people because of stuff they have going on for themselves. So quite often they may be going through a difficult time, they may be having trouble with their own mental health, they may have issues with their own body image, self-esteem, they may feel under a lot of pressure to compare themselves to other people online, and sometimes that can lead to people being negative and unkind. I think it's important to remember that it's never the fault of the person who receives those hurtful comments, okay? It's usually something that lies with the person who is doing the bullying and who is leaving the negative comments. That's where the problem lies. So if we are kind to each other, kind to ourselves, that can usually have a really big impact on other people as well. It can make them feel better, it can ensure that they feel more positive, and actually the kinder we are, the kinder other people are usually going to be to us as well. However, when people receive negative comments, when people receive abuse online, it can have a huge detrimental impact on them, on their own mental health, on their own self-esteem and on their body image. So it's important that we kind of think about what the effects may be on somebody who receives online abuse. So we can remember that actually there is a human being on the receiving end of that kind of behaviour. So just like we've just done about why people may abuse people online, I want us to think about what the impact of online abuse might have on a person. So again, you can make a list, you could make a mind map, however you want to do it, get your ideas down. What kind of impact does online abuse have on people who receive it? Being on the receiving end of online abuse can have a huge detrimental effect on a person's emotional well-being. It can lead to things like body image and self-esteem issues, anxiety, difficulties within relationships, worries about going into school, which can in turn impact on a person's education. It can also lead to things like depression and anxiety, and in some cases, self-harm and thoughts of suicide. Our brains are hardwired to believe what we see. Often what you see on a screen, we see it as fact, even if it's an opinion. So if someone is already struggling with their mental health, they may not have the resilience to cope with the negativity that they may receive online. So next I'm going to show you a short video about somebody who has experienced online abuse themselves and who talks a little bit about the impact that that had on them. It is Jessie from Little Mix. So she experienced a lot of online abuse after Little Mix won the X Factor, and she explains in this video kind of a little bit about how that impacted her, and she talks to some other people who have also experienced online abuse and the impact that that has had on them.
7 in 10 young people have experienced cyberbullying. I was one of them, and it completely ruined my life. Hi, I'm Jessie from Little Mix, and I've made a documentary for BBC Three. It's me telling my story of online trolling and the online trolling that I suffered in the first 5 years of Little Mix. In 2011, I was on X Factor. I was put into a girl group called Little Mix, and we were all told that we had to have social media. The whole world had an opinion on me, and they weren't good ones. I think everyone needs to know the effects of what online trolling can do to people and how bad it can really get. I wasn't known as just one of the singers in Little Mix. I was known as the fat, ugly one. It literally consumed every part of me.
And just had to sort of watch this amazing, funny girl sort of become a bit like a broken doll. It was horrible.
I think this is important now because social media is such a huge part of everyone's lives. Like, you can say one nasty comment and think that they're not going to see it, or it doesn't mean anything to you, but it does. It affects people massively, and I'm meeting a lot of people along the way who have also suffered from online trolling. They're telling their stories of how it's affected them.
It was only actually a few weeks ago, someone said to me that I've gained a lot of weight and that if I could just control it, I'd be pretty again.
I got told that my face is very deformed and that I should chop my head off.
People were telling me to kill myself, to cut myself more.
I always used to look at the other girls in the group and think, God, I'd just love to know what it feels like to be you. And I thought, God, there must be so many girls that wake up and still feel like that and think there's not a light at the end of the tunnel. And I wanted to make it so that for people to know that there is. If you talk to people and you get the right help, you will be able to feel better again one day.
I just think it's really important that you're all here, because I wish I had people like you when I was that age, because nobody spoke about that in school.
While I've been making this documentary, I posted an old picture of me from X Factor. I mean, it may sound silly to a lot of people because it's just a picture, but for me that's I know I've come a long way, because I would have never have been able to do that 6 months ago. I've met so many inspiring people along the way and learnt so much about myself that I've now learnt to love that old me.
Can I give you a cuddle? I'm sorry.
Now I've made this documentary, I feel powerful, I feel strong, and I've overcome them demons, and I feel like I know who I am now, so it doesn't really matter whether people want to call me that anymore. My new documentary for BBC Three and BBC One is out on the 12th of September.
As we can see from that video, the potential impact of online abuse is devastating. So how can we look after ourselves and others when we're using the internet? We have to remember that liking or sharing posts means you're essentially asking for more. It's an uncomfortable truth, but a necessary one. We are all complicit. We've forgotten the power we have in our hands when we're scrolling and clicking. You become what you fill yourself with. We need to make sure that we're speaking up for one another. Block and report people who leave abusive comments. Unfollow and block people who don't make us feel good about ourselves. And remember, it's relatively easy to be kind to people who share the same views as you, but true kindness extends to everyone. When you're thinking of commenting on something, think, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? And if it's not at least two of these, then keep quiet. The next part of looking after ourselves comes from building resilience. Building resilience is important for protecting ourselves and our emotional well-being. At times, it can be hard to remain resilient, so here are some ideas of what resilience looks like. Dealing with what comes my way. Trying to see the humorous side of things when I'm faced with problems. Allowing coping with stress to make me stronger. Believing I can achieve my goals, even if there are obstacles. Not being easily discouraged by failure. And thinking of myself as a strong person when dealing with life's challenges and difficulties. Thank you so much for watching the video today. If you need any help or support following the things that we have been talking about, there are loads of places available for you to get support, including the Star Project and Yellow Door, places like No Limits, which is another fantastic charity in Southampton that supports young people with a wide range of issues that they may be facing. There are also places like Childline, Ditch the Label, which is another fantastic charity that supports people who have experienced things like bullying, and also places like The Mix, which has loads and loads of information for young people available, again around a range of topics, and also Stonewall, which is specifically for people who are LGBTQ+. Again, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you soon.